What's left for the next generation? That's the big question of the next 3 books that I'm going to introduce to you. It's all about what we are going to leave behind or what future generations are going to find when they look back. And the first book in this category is Too Late to the Party by Lukas Sustala. And the book title really speaks for itself, because many of the younger generations feel that they are really too late to the big fun that the generations before them had. You know, it's like the party is already over and what's left are just a few pretzels maybe and some bad wine in a box. And so the author is really looking at the problem that the millennials are facing, because although the life now is basically better than like 50 years ago, the chances aren't the same. And so the mantra of our parents or of my grandmother was, my children and my grandchildren should have it better than me someday. Today, I think the mantra should sound like, we don't want our children to have it worse than we have. And Lukas Sustala is making a very good point. And the book is not only focusing on Germany and Austria, but really on an international level. So it's basically a universal book on what's really left for the younger generations and how they could deal with what's left over. So definitely something that I can recommend to you. And if you want to receive the sample translation, let us know. The second book is called Dare by Antje van Dewitz. She is the CEO of a German clothing company called VD. And when she took over the position as CEO in 2009, she started to do things differently in terms of what manager of other big companies are doing. Because what she really wanted to do was build a company that's family-friendly, that's sustainable, and that takes on principles of nature. And so you have a book about a very inspiring manager and something that is already receiving a lot of praise. Although the book hasn't been published yet, it will be published in April. And if you want to see an example of how you can manage to do things differently and be successful with it, then you definitely should look at Dare. The third book in this category is Nature's Strategies by Erwin Thoma. This is not your typical book about trees. And I think all of you know a German forester who has written some very popular books on trees. But what Erwin is doing since the 1990s is trying to show us what we can really take from trees in terms of how we can better our daily life and how we can live more sustainable. And in his new book, he is trying to show us where trees came from and how they survived very, very dire situations in terms of climate change. And what he is telling us is that if we want to survive the current situation, we definitely should take a look at trees and how they manage to cooperate and collaborate with everything around them, and to really learn how they did this and trying to take this for our daily life. And I think this is a very inspiring book, and it has been sold to Italy and it has been sold to a Russian publisher. And I think there should definitely be more people taking on this important book, because we definitely need to think about changing the way we live and we build. And this is something that could be a starting point for this. Scheiße! Scheiße! How you can build trees 100% made of wood. Okay.